As the orc world of Draenor is about to be destroyed by evil infernal magic that harnesses life force, the powerful sorceress Gul'dan creates a portal to the world of Azeroth and forms a horde with members of the orc clan. He also takes many prisoners to keep the portal open. Lane Ling, the king of Azeroth, and his brother-in-law Anduin Lothar were informed by the sorcerer Khadgar's disciple that he had discovered Fel's magic in a corpse. And the king ordered Tirisfal's guardian Medivh to protect the kingdom. Decided to summon the Lothar and Khadgar head to Karazhan to meet Medivh, but an eerie shadow shows Khadgar a book, which Khadgar takes and hides. Anduin, Khadgar, Medivh, and a group of soldiers are attacked by orcs. Capture the slave Garona, and are freed by King Lane and given the location of the portal. Garona is contacted by the orc Khan Durotan, who wants to meet King Lane to stop Fel's magic. Meanwhile, Khadgar learns that the gate has been opened with the help of someone in Azeroth. Should King Lane trust Garona and Durotan as possible traitors? Let's check out the movie. For centuries in the Middle-earth region, humans and orcs have been at war. Durotan, Toby Kebbell, is the leader of his Frostwolf orc clan, and he wants to escape a life of war as he and his wife Draka, Anna Galvin, are expecting their first child. Orc tribes gathered into one horde. Their home, Draenor, is on the brink, so the evil orc wizard Gul'dan, Daniel Wu, plans to guide the horde to the land of Azeroth. Gul'dan used a form of dark magic called Fel, which was created from the dead. He took dozens of Draenei prisoners in cages and brought them to the gate. Half-human/half-elf Garona, Paula Patton, is chained and walks past prisoners begging her to free them, even though it's beyond her control. After draining Draenei's life force, Gul'dan opened the portal to Azeroth. Orcs rushed past, but Draka hid her pregnant belly. At that moment, Draka felt pain. The other orcs discovered that he was pregnant and berated Durotan for letting him get away with his condition. She started giving birth. Gul'dan helps him and Draka give birth to a stillborn orc boy. Gul'dan took the life force of a nearby deer to revive the boy. He introduces Durotan's son to the horde as a new warrior. At Ironforge, Commander Anduin Lothar, Travis Fimmel, meets King Magni Bronzebeard, Michael Adamthwaite, who presents Lothar with a boomstick. Lothar was then summoned to the Kingdom of Stormwind after an attack on a garrison. Lothar travels to Stormwind and meets a mage named Khadgar, Ben Schnetzer, who was captured while examining the bodies. They found the body of a man spewing blue smoke from his mouth, indicating that he had been killed by Fel magic. Lothar and Khadgar meet King Lane Rin, Dominic Cooper. They are sent to meet the guardian Medivh, Ben Foster, in Karazhan. Lothar and Khadgar find Medivh sculpting a giant golem out of clay. As Lothar explained the situation to Medivh, Khadgar passed by Medivh's library and saw a dark shadow lurking around. The power of drawing drew Khadgar to a certain book. As he was about to pick it up, Medivh appeared and smashed Khadgar against the wall with his magic before dropping him. Medivh joins Lothar and Khadgar as they depart with a scout squad into the forest to investigate Fel magic. They were attacked by a group of orcs, who proceeded to attack humans, although Lothar was able to kill a few. Medivh casts a spell that kills the blue-skinned orcs but does nothing to Durotan. His friend Orgrim Doomhammer, Rob Kazansky, or the warlike Blackhand, Clancy Brown. Blackhand was about to attack Lothar, but Lothar shot Blackhand in the arm with his fishing rod. The orcs who survived escaped. Durotan rode through Garona, still chained. He swings the axe to break her chains and free her. However, Khadgar overpowered her with his magic and she was captured by the humans. Garona is taken to Lane Castle. She explains that her home world does not exist on the map of Azeroth and that the army of orcs is coming to this world. She is then kept in a cell but is given food and comfort by Lane's wife/Lothar's sister, Queen Teria, Ruth Nega. Garona intends to kill Teria to bring honor to the orcs, but Teria says that there will be no honor for her people. Bakhan stands in front of Gul'dan, who berates him for running away from humans and letting his people die, saying he is weak. Gul'dan was about to sentence Bakhan to death, but Durotan intervened, explaining to Gul'dan that Medivh had turned the party against them. Although Gul'dan claimed only he could control the group, Durotan and Orgrim sat together and watched the orc camps. Durotan believes Gul'dan's magic is behind Draenor's decline, and that if he continues, Azeroth will suffer the same fate. Durotan wanted Gul'dan to stop, but Orgrim argued that they must be loyal to their people. Lane frees Garona on the condition that she be loyal to Stormwind. She guides Lane, Lothar, and the others under Lane's command, including Callan, son of Lothar, Berkeley Duffield, to their meeting with the Frostwolf clan. Teria gives Garona a small dagger for self-defense. Orcs and humans meet to negotiate a truce to kill Gul'dan. Durotan stepped forward to speak, Garona translating for Lane and Lothar. They were then ambushed by green orcs loyal to Gul'dan, along with Blackhand and his companions. Evil orcs fight humans, along with Durotan and his clan. Medivh created a barrier between the humans and the orcs, but Callan was left outside. Lothar could not get out of the way or attract Callan. Reverse, with a new claw hand, stabs Callan and throws his body toward his father. Medivh is weakening. It is brought home and placed in its mana pool. Khadgar saw Medivh's eyes glow green, indicating that he was infected with fell magic. Khadgar also learned from a book he took from Medivh's library that Gul'dan might have asked someone in Azeroth to help open the gate. Khadgar leaves to seek help, while Medivh teleports Garona to Stormwind. Garona finds Lothar in a room, drunk, and mourns Callan's death. She came to him to comfort him. Lothar says he no longer trusts Medivh. Orgrim talks to Gul'dan, who learns that Durotan has decided to side with the Horde, leading to his imprisonment while Blackhand destroys the Frostwolf clan. Gul'dan gives Orgrim the chance to harness fell magic to become a stronger orc. Khadgar rode a griffin flying above the clouds to the city of Dalaran. He meets other ancient mages, all of whom are dissatisfied with Khadgar for abandoning them long ago. He explains to the magicians that fell magic is spreading throughout Azeroth and that Medivh is corrupt. Khadgar is brought to meet Aladi, Glen Close, an elderly caretaker and shadow in Medivh's library. She purposely found Khadgar to summon him. Aladi says that Medivh has been fighting a demonic entity for some time, and since then he has surrendered to it, corrupted by Fel. Medivh is helped by Moros, Callum Keith Rennie, in his swimming pool. The pool turns green with the power of Fel. Medivh absorbs Moro's life force, and he begins to transform into an orc-like being. Lane holds a meeting to unite the others as part of the alliance to fight against the Horde. Lothar did not like this plan and instead thought they should destroy the gate to prevent more orcs from invading Azeroth. Medivh, in human form, teleports to the meeting, putting himself under the guise of Lothar when he mentions Callan. Lane took Lothar to the cell to calm down. Orgrim realizes his mistake and secretly releases Draka and their child, whom Durotan has named Goel. Orgrim will then release Durotan. While angry with his friend, Durotan forgave him after learning that he had let Draka and Goel escape. Lane and his men go to war. Khadgar returns and frees Lothar from his cell after turning a guard into a sheep. Khadgar then began to use his magic to find a way to defeat Medivh. Draka takes Goel to a river, where she places him in a basket to bring him to safety. Another orc appeared as Goel drifted to safety. Draka ripped open the orc's throat with his teeth, but she was fatally stabbed. Durotan challenged Gul'dan and the rest of the Horde. The two fought, with Durotan appearing to overpower Gul'dan until the mage used his magic to drain Durotan's life force, much to the horror of the other orcs. Gul'dan eventually killed Durotan, causing the other orcs to turn against him. Gul'dan destroys the stray blue orcs, forcing the others to stay by his side. He then waited for Medivh to start opening the gate while Gul'dan used the other prisoner's life force to operate it. Lane and his army, now joined by Garona, began fighting the orcs as they began to invade. Meanwhile, Lothar and Khadgar attempt to fight Medivh, but he revives his clay golem, causing it to attack both. Lothar tried to cut off the golem's head, but his body remained conscious. Khadgar cast a spell that caused the golem to fall to Medivh as it turned to stone. Khadgar banished the demon from Medivh, returning it to normal, but it was dying under the golem. With his dying breath, Medivh swung the portal from Azeroth to Stormwind, freeing several prisoners. Lothar rode his griffin into battle. Realizing they probably won't win, Lane tells Garona to kill him for a chance at peace between the orcs and the humans. It will also allow him to gain honor in the Horde. With complete reluctance, Garona stabbed her dagger into Lane's neck before Blackhand could attack. The orcs encouraged Garona and brought her to Gul'dan, who welcomed her into the Horde. Lothar shows up to try and finds Lane dead with Garona's dagger still around his neck. He tried to take over Lane's body, but the orcs dragged Griffin down when he tried to leave. Lothar is then forced to fight Blackhand, now stronger thanks to fell magic. With two quick moves, Lothar stabbed Blackhand to avenge Callan's death. Lothar earned the respect of the orcs, but Gul'dan wanted them to kill him. He tries to do it himself, but Garona urges him to stand down, or he will be forced to fight the other orcs. Lothar is then left to carry Lane's body away. Lothar was left alone in the room until Khadgar entered. He finds Garona's dagger that Lothar pulled from Lane's neck, leading Lothar to believe that Garona deliberately tricked Lane. A funeral was held for Lane in the presence of the whole kingdom. Teria praises her husband and puts Lothar in front of everyone, as he is now ready to lead the alliance. Everyone gathered behind him. The final scene shows Goel still floating in the river. Durotan's voice rang out, saying that his son would become the new leader of the orcs, who could bring peace among them. A man picked up Goel's basket and the baby growled at him.